Hey friends, I'm recording this on Boxing Day, but chances are you've come across this video because maybe you indulged a lot yesterday and you're thinking, what do I do now? And so I created this video because I want to teach you a little bit about what's happening in your body today. So the day after, maybe you've had a lot more than you normally have, and how you can keep burning fat without feeling like you are restricting. And I'll share with you yesterday. So I don't normally indulge in a lot of treats. I normally eat high protein, low glycemic, 4-4-12 meal pattern. And, if you're new to the Well After 40 community, that might be new to you. If you've been around for a while, you're like, yeah, I know it. I got it. I'm doing it most of the time. And that's great. But yesterday, my stocking was full of things that I really love, things that I only have maybe once a year, or even maybe a couple of times a year. And the reality is that I can't eat them all in one day. That would be really silly. And so, today I woke up and I was like, well, I still really do kind of want to have some of those things. I want to enjoy it. My favorite thing is like this nougat with freeze-dried raspberries and some dark chocolate. And it's like, I only had a little taste yesterday, but I do want to have some today. And so here's what I want to share with you today. What you can do the day after a day of indulgence to get back on track, but also if you've got some things like, leftovers, things that you still want to enjoy, here's how to do it. So the day after, right? So for me, today's Boxing Day, day after Christmas, it's like, okay, I got to get back on track. But then we have like the new year coming, but there's still leftovers and there's still, all these little temptations. And we feel like we have to avoid anything that feels like sugar or happiness. Not that food is happiness, but it's how we associate it. And that can feel really restrictive, especially when the holidays are still happening around you. You've got, things maybe in your stocking. Share with me, like, what are your temptation things and what are the things that you want to enjoy for more than one day? So I want to give you a simple game plan that you can do to help keep your energy up and still support fat burning and still enjoy the leftovers and treats that you love. And honestly, it's what I've already just told you. It's 4-4-12, it's protein first, and it's movement after meals. It is so simple. There are no products to buy, no supplements to take. You're not taking anything magic, to block carbs or, help with digestion. You're just going to eat the proper foods, move your body, and eat in the 4-4-12 rhythm. Ready? Okay. So here's how to do it today. Number one, I want you to think about anchoring your meals with protein. So the first thing that I did this morning is I made sure that my breakfast was anchored in protein. I had 2 eggs and I had a cup of cottage cheese. I like to cook that together. And then I had something called bigos. It's a hunter stew. It has meat and cabbage and sauerkraut. So it was really, really tasty, but that was not my main focus of my breakfast. That counted as my fiber. There's some healthy fat in there, a little bit of protein, but the kind of meats that were in there are not super high protein. So the cottage cheese and my eggs, that's where I found the bulk of my nutrition. So what I want you to do is make sure that every single plate you build is starting with protein. And that's the most important part for blood sugar stability in perimenopause and menopause. After you anchor your meal with protein, you're going to go about adding some color, some vegetables, including broccoli, asparagus, carrots, peas. Those are more starchy veg, but whatever you have on hand. If you have something green and you love it, whether it's snap peas, it could be peppers, it could be green beans. I love green beans. Brussels sprouts if you tolerate them in your gut. So all of those things, add some color to your plate. Then a smart carbohydrate if you are having carbohydrates. So that's an option for you. So if you're working out, I want you to have some more carbohydrates. If not, you can have that protein, that veg, and add a little bit of healthy fat. Healthy fat, don't overthink it. It can be something as simple as a few nuts. It could be something like a little bit of avocado oil or olive oil on a salad. If you want to have salad with your breakfast, absolutely. You've got lots of greens and fiber in there as well. So if you do choose to have carbohydrates, I want you to choose ones that don't spike your blood sugar. So things like potatoes, quinoa, veggies, things like that. They're all still carbohydrates, but they don't spike your blood sugar. Number two, treats come after a meal. And I use the word treat, although if you've been hanging around with me for a little while, you'll know that I don't necessarily see those things as treats for our bodies. There are things that we enjoy, but they're not treating our body because the things that we put into our body that we know are not the best I don't want to think of those as treats. I want to think of those as things that we have that we enjoy, but that aren't necessarily doing good things inside of our body. We enjoy them because for the pure enjoyment of the food. You know, cinnamon buns, I made those on Christmas morning and they're so beautiful, but they are not a treat for my body. My body does not love the sugar and the carbohydrates. What they are is something that I enjoy, it's tradition, and I don't feel guilty about it at all. But I add it in as part of my day. So if you are going to have treats, make sure they come after your meal. So if you have those still have those chocolates or desserts that you love, like my little raspberry chocolate nougat, that's awesome, but have it after your high protein meal, but do have it together. So when you eat sweets alone, what happens is you get this big jump and spike in your blood sugar, and then your insulin goes up. And we know what happens when our insulin is up, our bodies cannot get into fat burning mode. If you've had a balanced meal and you've had your protein and your veg and your healthy fat, guess what? Our blood sugar is already way more stable. We can handle a little bit of things that are outside of the norm. So it's not about saying no, it's just about saying yes intentionally. So make sure that you're having those things together. So you're not eating your meal and then snacking and grazing and snacking and grazing and then having another meal. Okay. Now, third thing, take yourself for a walk or take yourself for some sort of movement. And I say that like take the dogs for a walk, right? But take yourself for a walk. You can take the dogs with you. Mine are currently sleeping after I had my walk after breakfast. Tidy the house, play game with the kids, do something, do a couple flights of stairs, do something that is going to move that sugar, that glucose in your body. What we want to do is we want to get our muscles moving so that they pull the glucose out of the blood and use it for fuel. What we don't want is we don't want extra sugar sitting around, insulin still trying to do its job for, hours until your next meal, and you've never gotten into fat burning. All right, so let's talk about what actually happens here. Like, why are we doing this? So in perimenopause, our hormones shift and insulin becomes a little bit more stubborn. So grazing all day can flip us into fat storage mode. When insulin is in our blood, we cannot burn fat. Period. End of story. So what we want to do is we want to get the sugar cleared out of our blood as soon as possible. That's insulin's job. And then our insulin subsides. Then we can get into fat burning mode. So if we anchor our meals, if we time our treats with them, if we move after we eat, we keep our insulin lower, which means we can get into fat burning mode more often. So again, this morning I had my high protein breakfast. I had my little sweet treat afterwards, the thing that I enjoy and brings me joy. And then I took myself and the dogs out for a longer walk where I got my pace going. And then I came back in and sat down. So it's all the good things that I love, but it's without any guilt, right? So if you want help with the plate building part, let me know. If you don't already have my protein first shopping guide, it's got a meal plan in there. Let me know, drop that in the comments wherever you're watching this video, and I will send that over to you. It is really simple. This is not, again, about restriction. We don't talk about weight loss in a bigger capacity here at Well After 40. I really just want to teach you how to build your plate, how to move your body in a way that supports your hormones and doesn't work against them. So if any of this helped, share it with somebody who also might love it. Any questions, reach out to me. I read every single email. Let's talk soon.